Hi, and welcome to BUS441 Business Strategy for the winter 2022. This video will give you a good idea of how this course is organized, your responsibilities, and answer many frequently asked questions. So make sure you watch this video to the very end. Now, the first thing I want to do is I'm going to follow this menu path here on Blackboard. And the first thing up is announcements. So the first announcement I have posted is getting started for the course. I always open the course up early so you can get started in case 3 weeks is not enough time for you because you may be working or you may be taking 2 classes. So I open this up early so you can get a head start. Now, this is the video I posted that you're currently watching on getting started. So I have 5 things I suggest you do in week 1. 1, review the Blackboard. So this is the Blackboard environment, our learning management system. So read over the announcements, register for the homework manager, which includes an e-textbook, which I'll show you in a minute, read over the syllabus, subscribe to the YouTube playlist that's going to house all of the videos for the course, and read over chapter 1 in the textbook. Continuing, we have the instructions on how to work on the homework manager. Important thing here is that this is the course ID. So you're going to need this course ID later when you register for the homework manager. Now, the homework manager comes with an e-textbook, which is great. Also, one thing to watch out for is don't sign up for the temporary account. If you sign up for the temporary account, I will not be able to see you or any of the work you do. They hide that all for me to encourage you to pay for the account. If I've noticed that students who sign up for the temporary account have struggle or have difficulties converting it to a full account later on. So my suggestion is not to sign up to the temporary account. Also, when you sign up for the account, make sure you use your real first and last name as it's displayed in your registration paperwork so I don't have any confusion. Some people like to put in a nickname. For example, their name might be Samantha, but they put in Joe as their nickname. So this makes it difficult for me when trying to grade you later on. So yeah, the temporary accounts are blocked for my review. If you set up a temporary account in the homework manager, I will not be able to see you or your work. Be careful, there are no late assignments for this course. So make sure that you complete all the assignments on time or early because I will not have time to go back and reestablish and set up late assignments for you. And in order to help you get all your assignments due on time, I made a special announcement where I list all the assignments and the corresponding due dates. So the assignments are put together on 2 due dates. One is on January 7th, and then actually there's 3 due dates, January 14th and then January 21st. So for the end of each week is going to be the due dates for a number of short assignments. So each week you might be working on a video assignment, which was not creating a video, but just watching a video and answering some questions, a mini simulation, or a quiz about that week's chapter. I've also laid out the class schedule, what chapters we're covering each week. So week 1, we're covering chapters 1, 2, and 3. And each week there'll be a discussion question related to the chapters and a quiz. And so week 2 will be chapters 4, 5, and 6. And week 3 will be chapters 7, 8, and 9. And each week, again, there will be video lectures to watch, case discussion boards to answer, and mini quizzes to complete. So let me go back up. So announcements, that's pretty much the announcements. Now, as far as the syllabus, if you go to the syllabus, this class is asynchronous, which means you can watch the lectures for the class anytime you want, which is usually a big help in the winter class when the sessions are short and people may have other classes or jobs they're working on. So this way, you watch the video lectures for each chapter when you are ready. Now, this course is going to go over, the ideas and concepts of how companies create and deploy strategy. So I have a number of learning goals about the class that you should read over. We have the e-textbook, which comes with the homework manager. So when you buy the homework manager, they package it with a free e-textbook. So you don't have to buy a hard copy of the textbook. So the homework manager, these are instructions again on how to sign up for the homework manager. Moving forward, as far as the assignments, the discussion board assignments will be posted on Blackboard, but all the other homework assignments will be posted on the homework manager for the course. Now, as far as discussion questions, I will set up 6 discussion questions where you have 2 discussion questions each week. And so the students, I expect you to post an original response and answer the questions of the discussion question, and then 2 replies to 2 other students on their posts. So hopefully some insightful or some additional information you can provide to other students on their posts. So you earn points by participating, which I'll go over more deeply when we get to the discussion board area. As far as the grades, the chapter homeworks are worth 30%, the chapter quizzes are worth 45%, the chapter class case discussions are 25%, so that's a total would be 100% of points in the class, and that's how you convert your points to a letter grade. I also have the class schedule listed in the syllabus as well. Okay, so let's go to the next button, which is the class video lecture. So you click on here, and it'll automatically bring you to the strategic management playlist for the course. And this will list all the chapters we're covering in order, in order that you can watch. And each of these chapters will go over the PowerPoints and my lecture for the corresponding chapters we're covering that week. So very easy to get to watch those videos. And since they're on YouTube, you can watch them on your iPad, your iPhone, your Android phone, your tablet, your PC, your Mac. You could, so wherever you have access to YouTube, you can even watch them on your TV. If you have YouTube on your Apple TV or your Roku TV or your Fire TV or your Chrome TV. So many, many options to watch these videos. I also have the corresponding PowerPoints to the videos here for you to utilize if you want to go back and study these PowerPoints so that you use them along with the videos. Now for the homework manager. So here is the menu button I have, which links up to the homework manager. So when you're in the homework manager, you're going to want to register as a student first. And you can use any email address you would like. I would prefer you use your real first and last name so I can identify you later. And then this is where you put that course ID that we talked about. You put this in here and you continue to register. And then either you may have an account already or you create a new account and you'll be linked up to my strategic management course. So let's go inside the homework manager and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so here's the homework manager. Here's the important aspects of this is the Pearson e-textbook. So you click on here and then you'll click on view e-textbook and it'll open up a textbook browser. And this is where you'll get the e-textbook. And what's great about the e-textbook is that you'll have a table of contents that you could quickly get to any section of the chapter. You have a lookup bar if you want to look up any specific topics or questions. You have a notebook to take notes. You can also create study cards or have a study guide. So it's very useful, multifunctional textbook, e-textbook. You also have your assignments. So when you click in here, you'll have your assignments. You just click on assignments and all your assignments will be listed in order of the chapters we're going over. So as you're completing each assignment, some assignments can be what I said before earlier, a video assignment, where you click on the video assignment and there should be a link or a screen comes up to watch a video, which is going to be the assignment to first watch this video. And then they're going to ask you questions related to the video afterwards. A few 15 short questions related to this video. So sort of a fun thing to do. Okay. So you might also have a simulation. So a simulation is another type of homework assignment that's interactive and fun, where you go through a basic simulation of a work event, and you have to select different options based on the scenarios they give you. Now, you're not going to do well on these simulations if you haven't read the chapter. So the chapter contains the material you need to understand what directions or what decisions you should make going through these various simulations. So if you go through a simulation and you don't do well, it just means you need to read the chapter or perhaps watch the lecture. And then each week there's also a warm-up set of questions. So these warm-up questions are just questions that would warm you up after you've read the chapter. They're just multiple choice questions. And then the last thing you should do each week is the quiz. So the quiz is here. You see a yellow box. That means this is the quiz. And if you start the exam, you start the test. And then you go through it. It's a test where you have to answer. This is 25 questions, and this is about the chapter 1. So you move to chapter 2. Chapter 2 has less assignments than chapter 1, and then chapter 3, which has a few. So the amount of assignments in each chapter vary. So you just make sure that you follow your due date, so you know that these are the assignments you need to complete in week 1. And then once you complete your assignments, you'll start building out your results or your grade book. So then in your grade book, you'll be able to see what assignments you worked on, what's been complete, what are your score, your overall calculation of your grade. So these are the 3 most important areas of the homework manager: the e-textbook, the assignments, and the results. Okay. Now let's move on to the discussion questions. So for this class, we're going to be maintaining a discussion board, which is in lieu of us having discussions that we normally may take care of during class time. So this is considered class time, and this is where you have discussions. So I've curated a number of mini cases based on current things happening in the world today, such as the metaverse with Facebook. So this is a very new thing, the metaverse with Facebook, and I'm going to ask you questions about the metaverse. So for week 1, you see we have questions on Honeywell in China, and also Zuckerberg sets up Facebook as a metaverse. Then week 2, we'll talk about Shell Oil, and we'll talk about streaming rights for television and movie. Then week 3, we'll talk about the breakup of GE that just happened. And then we'll talk about delivery apps that deliver food, and can these companies, are they viable, and unions and other related issues. So very topical cases to do. We also have class questions. So if you have questions about the course that might be helpful to everybody, you can pose them here. And when you click on class questions, I would say you should click on subscribe. So that way, if there are any questions in here, you can create a thread to create a question in here when you're ready, if you need to. If it's of more of a private nature or a question that's only going to be helpful to you, just email me directly. So to do case study 1, first thing you're going to say here is you're going to download the PDF. So you click here to download the PDF, and you read over the case. The case is usually 2 to 6 pages. They're not always that long. And then I have a number of questions here that you're going to answer. So I have a set of questions here for each case, and they may be listed directly here, or sometimes I put them at the top of the case, which is not the case here. There's no questions here. It's posted here. So when you're ready, you have your questions, and you're ready to answer them. You click on week 1. I actually wrote click here, so it's more obvious. And you're going to go create thread, and the questions are going to be here again. So your subject should be your first and last name. John Doe, and then you could say, you could put the title of the case. This is the Honeywell case. Just so I have an idea of what you're answering. And then you could, in the body of the message here, you could put in the questions, and then below each question, you can start crafting your answer. And write in your answer of how, and typically answers should be around anywhere from 50 to 100 words per question as you're answering them as completely as possible. So you would type in your answer here. You can also, if you want to do this in Word and cut and paste it in here later, that's fine, but don't attach any documents. Just create everything in this Word box. So then when you submit, you will have your link, it will have your author, the thread, and so then if another student comes in, they're not going to be able to read what you've written until they've made their original post. Once you've made your original post, you'll see all the threads, and you can click on another student's thread. You could read their response and rate it. So this is a terrible response. We're going to put we're going to rate it 1 star. I can't rate my own post though. And then you could post a reply to the student and said, "This is the worst answers I please do better." Okay, and I can submit that. So now you see you have the original post and you have a response. So that's basically how the discussion boards work. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this because no one needs to see that. Okay, so it's pretty simple. You come here, create a thread, answer the questions of the case, and click submit, and then you go back and later on and you can read other students. Once you've completed your submission, you'll see other student submissions. You can go and read what they've written, made some comments, and have a discussion. Think of it as we're sitting around in the classroom. You've just finished reading a case. I pose some questions, and students are discussing it back and forth. That's what it's meant to emulate. Now, these are going to be graded. So in the grade book, when you click on your grade book, I'm going to be grading your discussion board contributions for week 1, 2, and 3. Week 1 is 33 points, week 2 is 33 points, and week 3 is 34 points for a total of 400 points. So if we go back to announcements, I will post an announcement on the discussion boards, how you did, basically just when I've graded them and how I think the students or the class has done. So remember, when you do click on the discussion board, there will be a set of instructions here. So it says, please post your original answers on Monday or Tuesday, or even perhaps Wednesday, and then your replies on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So this discussion is meant to be a week-long discussion. So popping in on a Saturday to post your responses and replies is not having a fair discussion, and that would result in you losing points. So the beginning of the week is meant for you to read the case and post your responses. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday is when you read other students' responses and post your replies. So you should be posting, joining the discussion board at a minimum 2 days a week. 1 day to post your original, a second different day to post your replies. When the discussion board ends, the link will disappear and you can no longer participate. And then Blackboard will give me a detailed analysis of how much time you spent on the discussion board, how many replies you've made. I'll be able to read your replies, and this is what I'll be basing your grade on each week. So make sure you put a fair effort into this. Okay, so that is the course in strategic management, and I hope you enjoy this course. I specifically designed it to be a winter class, to be able to complete it in a 3-week period and get the most out of the class as possible, and also for you to enjoy the class. So I hope you like this class, and I'll be talking to you soon. Best of luck.